Guys, it's Nancy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking to you guys about what it's like to be an Instacart shopper and just my experience. Before I get into this video, just go ahead and make sure you subscribe and let's get right into it. So I decided to make this video today because I'm already out like doing Instacart. I just finished like a $45 batch and it's like 12 o'clock. I just wanted to share my experience for people who are considering doing Instacart, even though I feel like I still think it's a wait list to become a shopper. And again, I only do this when I have like free time or, you know, like as a side hustle. So it's just my experience. I'm sure everybody's experience is always going to vary because we're all different. Okay. So, all right. So I've been doing Instacart for a year. And I am a platinum shopper. And for those of you who don't know, first, let me start by saying that Instacart is a delivery grocery service. So any groceries you want to get delivered from your favorite grocery stores like Kroger, H-E-B, Target, Sam's Club, Costco, you get your groceries picked up and shopped for by a personal shopper, which would be somebody like myself. And they basically just get all the items and then they see all the items on the app and they pick those items for you in the store and they deliver it to your home or business. And that's basically how the model of Instacart works. So like I said, I've been doing Instacart for about a year. I'm a platinum shopper. There are levels. You have gold, you have platinum, you have diamond. And with those levels, you get like certain types of benefits. But let me just get back to the, you know, the core concept of Instacart. So again, I started last year. And I honestly, as a side hustle, I actually enjoy doing Instacart. I really do like it. And I feel like you can make some really good money, even with, you know, the fact that you have to pay for your own gas or whatever. If you have a really good cost effective car that's really good on gas, then yeah, it would be a really, really good investment for you to use your car to make money. And I just, honestly, and I also want to add that like you have to have certain types of character traits that will make you somebody who's successful in something like this. Because if you're somebody that like you know what I mean, like you don't care, like you just go into the store, you just grab whatever, you grab rotten items, you grab damaged items, you grab soiled things that are not good, of course you're gonna have bad ratings, you're not gonna get good tips, you're gonna probably they're gonna kick you off the app. Like that's, I mean, I think we should all know that, you know what I mean? Like it's not something where it's not a joke. Like this is people's lives. Like people are eating this stuff, you know, they're using these products and these are real life people. So you have to take a certain level of care when it comes to handling people's things. You know what I'm saying? They've paid their hard work, their hard earned money for this stuff. And it's up to you. They're trusting you, a complete stranger, to go and get their groceries for them. The least you can do is actually go a step and beyond to actually care, right? So that's my first point. Is like, if you want to be a successful Instacart shopper, you have to have these, I believe, these 5 core skills or traits about yourself. If not, you should probably do something else. So the first thing, you have to be somebody who's very caring, because again, you're not even shopping for yourself, and you have to take that extra step to go above and beyond to make sure everything you get is fresh. When it comes to fruits, when it comes to vegetables, everything is clean. When it comes to the packaging, nothing is, no seals are torn. Like you have to do all that stuff, and that's gonna basically give you a higher tip, more compliments, and it's gonna, you know, boost you up in the app. And you will, and I'll talk about that later, how when you get to a certain level, you see all the batches before everybody else. So the first thing I would say would be caring. The second thing I would say would have to be, you need to be organized, especially when you're doing like 2 or 3 batches at a time. You can't just throw everything in the basket because you will get thrown off. You want to make sure that you are organized. Being an organized person is really important in your success on Instacart. I'm naturally an organized person, so I didn't really have to learn how to be organized. Thank God. So it's something that you really want to make sure that you're able to do. There's different techniques you can use. You can separate the cart with a barrier and be like, person A is going to go on this side, person B on this side. But the key thing is you want to make sure that you're very organized. Even doing 3 batches at a time, that's going to be somebody, if you take on a batch where it's 3 people, you're shopping for 3 people, you have to understand you have to be a highly organized person or you will fail. You don't want to deliver person C groceries to person A and person B groceries to person C, because it's just a whole mess. And then Instacart has to fix it. And then your account is risk for being deactivated because you didn't take the extra time to make sure that everything was organized. The third thing I would say, you got to be somebody who is friendly. Like You got to be friendly, even though you don't really interact with people as much on the app. Like when you're messaging them and they're like, hey, is there a way you can give me this item instead, because they don't have this item. So sometimes you might have to do like replacements if they don't have a particular item. So you got to say it in a nice way where it's like, hey, if they don't have this particular item, is there a way I can get you this instead? It's pretty similar. You don't just be like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to make sure that you're personable, that you're likable, because that's also going to reflect your tips as well. And you'll notice that as far as the tips, customers can increase your tips without any ceiling, but they can only decrease by, I believe, like $2 or so. So $1 or so, something like that. So if you're going extra steps and you're friendly and you're telling them, hey, look, they don't have this, and you're sending them pictures of what they have, people appreciate that stuff because you care. And guess what they're gonna do? Natural human behavior. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna increase your tips. Happens to me all the time. I always get increased tips. So you just want to make sure that you're doing that as well. The fourth thing I would say to be a successful Instacart shopper is honestly thinking highly of yourself. Like, you have to have a certain amount of confidence. Like, you need to have a positive mindset. I would say you have to have a positive mindset. You can't go into this thinking like, okay, like, I'm not gonna make any money, but whatever, let me just do it. You gotta go into it like, look, I'm ending my day with $200. I'm ending the day $200 richer than I woke up, right? You kind of have to go into it every single day with a positive mindset. Even if every day you're not cashing out $300, $400, you still have to go into every single day with a positive mindset. Like, I am going to be a platinum shopper. Oh, I am going to be a diamond member. Oh, I am going to do this. Oh, I am going to get a $50 badge today. Oh, I am going to get a $30 tip today. You have to speak all of this stuff over your life. And the way you speak, it literally, the universe, it gravitates it towards you. But if you walk in every single day, I'm like, all right, well, I don't know, whatever, then of course I'm not gonna make any money today. You can't think like that, baby. You gotta attract abundance. It's money on the app. I'm telling you, it's money on the app. That leads to my next point, which is, I think this is actually the most important point in your success on Instacart, is being strategic. I think in everything in life, you have to have a strategy in order to be successful. When I decided to get on YouTube and I wanted to stand out on YouTube, I had to have a strategy. When I decided to do anything in my life, I knew I had to have a strategy. And that goes the same thing with Instacart. You have to have a strategy. My strategy, I'll go ahead and share it. I always want to maximize the amount of money I make with as little as time as possible. For example, there's always going to be, I live in a major city, so there's always going to be a lot of batches available where I live. However, I will see a batch and I won't take it because I'm like, no, it's not worth it. You can't just take any batch you see. Red flag number one, you never want to take a batch that has no tip. If you see a batch that has no tip, don't take it. Let's get somebody else to do it. Okay. You always want to take the batch that has the most amount of money that's going to be given to you for the least amount of items. For example, I just did a batch now, $45. I'll take a screenshot. It was like 22 items, right? 22 items to get, 22 items to get paid $45. That's a winning situation. So of course I'm going to take that. It was 2 shoppers. One was from Sam's and one was from Aldi. So you like I said, and sometimes you'll see some from Kroger that'll be like 10 items for $15. That's something you will want to take. Or you'll see, sometimes you even see like 1 item for $20. So it just depends on, like your strategy. That's a strategy that I use. That's a strategy that has been successful for me. You can see I currently have a 5-star rating in the Instacart app. Another piece of strategic advice I would give you would be to shop at stores that have the aisle numbers and location of every item that you're shopping for. That way you can go in and out of stores pretty quickly. And you will learn the stores that have this information as you continuously do Instacart. Another thing I would say is that if you're unable to find an adequate replacement and or the customer is unresponsive, just give the customer a refund. You don't want to jeopardize them giving you a negative rating to affect your rating on the Instacart app, because if your rating goes below 4.7, you will have limited access to batches. You also want to keep an eye on your cancellation rate. Yes, emergencies do happen, but if your cancellation rate hits 15%, they will deactivate your account. Also, if you don't get to a store on time, they will cancel your batch. As you can see, this week I made $712.01, which is pretty good using the strategy that I have shown in this video. All right, this is an example of a batch I would never take. It's $9, no tip, and 128 units. No, ma'am, get somebody else to do it. This is an example of a batch that I would take. It is at 2 Costco's, $29.07, 23 units. Also in the app, they do give you locations where you can hang out to be put in a queue to have access to more batches if it's a busy location. Customers also have the ability to leave you comments and compliments. Usually they do this when they increase your tip. I also want to say that Diamond and Platinum shoppers have the highest priority on Instacart to the best batches. So going above and beyond definitely pays off. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.